John Wales' investigations manifest how the human consciousness could become more flexible and how, armed with the basic knowledge about the assemblage point, one could attain a widening range of right actions for one's own welfare and for the welfare of society and our planet. Assemblage point location regulation and manipulation of the perception energy beam's location and entry angle is a methodology by means of which one can find physical, emotional and psychic health. It also gives us the possibility to gain energy and power through these to achieve inner wisdom, love, expression of freedom and collaboration with the naturally implanted potential capabilities of the human being. It turns out to be one of the ways to the many planes and fields of prosperity in human existence. It is a way of fulfilling our true life desires, a way that suggests the opportunity to gain and save power during the interactions with others and our environment, instead of depleting ourselves, others and the world around us. If our assemblage point is centrally positioned and our perception energy beam is horizontal, then this is the state that enables us to choose such modes of acquiring material goods that do not enter into contradiction with others. By regulating the assemblage point location and the entry angle of the perception energy beam, we can achieve harmony between our interests and that of others in the world, eliminating conflict and fostering cooperation. Then we can feel joy, happiness, success, satisfaction and the pleroma of life, since we have chosen the right path. I shall allow myself to take an extract from the recently announced Toltec teachings that existed after Thean Mayer's since millennia on the earth. This knowledge, represented and exposed to the public at first by Carlos Castaneda and later by many others, is concerned mainly with the essence of the human energy body and the ways that it interacts with the universe. According to these teachings and the truths of awareness, everything in the universe is built up from an infinite number of energy fields resembling vibrating threads of light. On the language of physics, it can be said that these are the strings of the universe, that have their own waveform, function, and are ruled by the corresponding equations into a multi-dimensional space. As man is a small part of the universe, one can say that the human energy body is constituted of certain compositions of such strings or threads. Its form is ellipsoidal, egg-shaped, and in some rare cases it can be spherical. John Wales' illustrations in Chapter 1 show what the human energy body looks like. The energy threads building our energy body have vibration frequencies that are characteristic for the human energy bundle. The height of this egg is equal to the length of a man's body with his arms fully extended above his head on the vertical axis, and its width is that of a man with his arms extended outwards from the center of his body along the horizontal axis. This egg is known as the cocoon of man. This name probably takes its origin from the idea that our physical body is surrounded and protected from external energy, not unlike the silkworm by its cocoon. In other words, there is around each living being a surrounding vibrational energy field. It consists of the well-known electromagnetic and quantum fields, and besides there are components that are yet to be discovered by future science. This egg-shaped energy field carries and also characterizes our individual consciousness that distinguishes us from other people and the world as a whole. This concept, often represented in literature, namely, the human aura, means mainly the electromagnetic part of the human energy cocoon. In its ideal mode, the human energy body is subjected to the symmetry principle, i.e. it has to be symmetric towards the central energy meridian passing through our spinal column. Through the energy beam entering the assemblage point, any human being can potentially and actually inhabit, align the energy threads inside the cocoon with different energy threads outside it. Thus, we are able to establish an internal resonance state with a variety of energy informational structures of the universe. It is important to know that there exists a specific cohesion force among all the energy threads of the assemblage point. They are welded together and not permitted to divide. As an independent structure, the energy strings of the human cocoon have a specific epicenter around which they are consolidated. The mutual center of all human vibrations is the assemblage point. The assemblage point is an energy torus through which pass all the energy threads of human awareness and perceptions. If one can see it, it looks like a bright spot of between 0.5 to perhaps 2 cm in diameter, located for a normal healthy man at the level of the shoulder blades. As a result of his expert practice, John Whale has arrived at 7 basic rules valid for the assemblage point. Quote, 7 rules of the assemblage point. 1. At the physical, emotional, atomic and quantum levels, a human being is an independent oscillating energy field. All oscillating energy fields, by virtue of the fact that they are oscillating, must have an epicenter or vortex of the rotation. The epicenter of the human energy field is called the assemblage point. 2. The location and entry angle of the assemblage point with respect to the physical body dictates the shape and distribution of the human energy, as does disease. 3. The shape and distribution of the human energy field are directly proportional to the biological energy and activity of the organs and glands in the physical body, and the quality of the emotional energy. 4. The biological activity of the organs and glands determines the position of the assemblage point and thus the shape and distribution of biological energy throughout the physical body. 5. The location and entry angle of the assemblage point has a direct influence over the biological activity of all of the organs and glands including the brain, and these have a direct influence on the location of the assemblage point. 6. The location and entry angle of the assemblage point regulates how we feel and behave. Disease also dictates the assemblage point location and entry angle. 7. For better or worse, manipulation or misappropriation of the assemblage point location and entry angle facilitates and affects the way we feel and the manner in which we behave, our state of health or disease, and our expectations of recovery from disease. These have been confirmed by many other investigators and practitioners in England and many other places around the world. In John Whale's book you will find yet more important information concerning the stages and the development of human consciousness. The functioning of the left and right brain hemispheres, together with the role that organs such as the liver and the spleen provide for health, largely incurable by conventional medicine, how the disturbances in their functioning are the cause for some symptoms and diseases. Here one can find a clear explanation of the significance of the different brain wave types, their frequencies, and the most important fact that they are inextricably bound up with the assemblage point location. A very essential point in this book is clarifying the connection between the assemblage point state and position and such obnoxious diseases as schizophrenia and epilepsy.
Mountain lakes. Well, I don't know. These must be entrances to the inner earth. Maybe they're eyeballs. Maybe that's the pig nose. Quite an interesting area. Give it that. Looks like a monster. Embedded in there. A lot of stuff going on here. You really never know what you're looking at. That looks like an impact crater. Oh, Hidden Valley Ranch.